What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Moose Boat Podcast. We return to you after 2 weeks hiatus because I'm burnt out as fuck. But this is episode 136. 136. And we have a T-Rex, and he says 136 as well. I'm Ryan. This is Matthew. We welcome you to our humble little show of 0 viewers, and it's a wonderful treat. How are you, my friend?
I'm okay. I'm busy.
Yeah.
Fucking busy.
It is. I think we're gonna scroll back the dial a little bit on how many episodes we're doing for the rest of the month, because I think we're both gonna be pretty busy during the holidays, and I think we may do next week and then kind of take a little hiatus till January.
Word. That'll probably work for me. So
yeah, I know you're busy during the holidays, and each Saturday is gonna fall pretty much on Christmas and on New Year's Eve, and it's just, you know what? We worked hard. We need a little break. So I think we do next week, and then I think we take a couple weeks off, and we'll come back in January, and we'll do a nice little wrap up on the year, and blast our nips and do all kinds of fun things.
Typical Saturday night stuff, even though it's Sunday, but we usually do the show Saturday. So.
Yeah, exactly. So
we're doing the show Sunday this week because I was at a stand-up show yesterday.
And how was that?
I went and saw Anthony Jeselnik, and it was very funny. He is very Do you know who that is? Oh yeah,
I love Anthony Jeselnik.
Yeah. He's very, I don't know, what's the best way to put it? He's not really crass.
Oh, he's crass.
Is he crass? Yeah, I guess he is pretty crass. But
he's vulgar and crass and says what you shouldn't say, and that's why I love him, because it makes me crack up.
It's not vulgar, really. It's more just
it's not like cursing vulgar, but inappropriate vulgar.
Inappropriate for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a lot of those. He kept circling back to underage kids, which was weird, but yeah.
He hasn't put out a new stand-up in a long time, so hopefully this is
he said he's been touring for 14 months straight, and he said he's been doing this for 20 years now. That's what he said yesterday.
Wow. Yeah. I hope he has a new stand-up coming for Netflix soon or something, because I love him.
He was very funny. He was it was all new material, so that was good.
That's awesome.
I didn't like the girl that opened for him. I can't remember her name, Blair or something, but she was not that funny.
See, though, comedy's so subjective, right?
Totally.
Somebody there loved it, I'm sure, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
the reason we're doing this different day this week.
It's all good. You could have said we're not doing it all this week, and I would have been like, that's fine. Like I said, I'm so burnt out right now that I don't know what's going on with me. But
I don't know if you've been seeing, but I've been up working on the studio nonstop.
Yeah, I have.
Fucking tons done Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. Well, not really anything today, but yesterday and the night before, I got a fucking stupid amount of stuff done.
Just all the drywalling and the drop ceiling coming in.
Yep, we did the whole drop ceiling, and then we finished the inside of the drop ceiling as much as we're going to. We put plywood down so that way we can, store shit up there.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I drywalled everything yesterday. The only thing left to drywall is the ceiling on the slant, because I tried to get it. I actually got it up there myself. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm on a ladder with half a sheet of drywall, trying to screw it in and hold it into place. This isn't going to work.
No, it's not worth falling off a ladder for.
No. So I was like, you know what? I'll wait. So we're going to do that tomorrow. So yeah, by the end of this week, I should have all the drywall done. I should have all the sanding done, all of the mud and sanding done, and then be ready for paint. I'm hoping to be painting next weekend. So. And Ryan's having mouse difficulties, I think.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I don't know what's going on. I think my mic is dying.
Is it cordless or something?
It's definitely the cord on my mic.
Were you muting it? Because when I didn't hear you was when it was muted.
Can you still hear me?
Yes.
All right. Well, my headphones are gone, so I don't know what's happening, but
she dead, son. She dead. Yeah.
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. I have to listen to you through my laptop, and that's probably going to cause echo, but I don't know what else to do. So
no echo so far, so that's good.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm glad it's coming along, man. It looks nice. It looks like it's really cool. I'm stoked for you to finish it.
Me too. I can't fucking wait. I cannot wait. I'm so close that I can taste it at this point. So
good.
Yeah, so tomorrow we'll finish drywalling, and then I'll probably start tomorrow or the next night, like mudding and all that stuff, and then I'll alternate nights. So I'll do like mudding one night, and then I'll sand the next night, and mud the next night.
Nice.
It's a big enough space at this point that like I won't be able to do both in the same night, I don't think, because it's just a bit too much to do.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, and if we take a break during the holidays, he'll let you finish off the.
Yeah, by the time we come back, I'll at least be in the studio. It may not be fully
exactly.
set up, but I'll at least be in it. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Glad. It's looking good, man. I'm excited for you.
I'm stoked.
What else you been up to? Anything? You watching anything? You fucking.
I haven't been watching much.
Neither.
What did I watch? We watched Christmas with the Kranks the other day.
Never seen it.
Jamie Lee Curtis and Tim Allen. It's pretty funny. He basically, the daughter graduates or goes to university or whatever, and it's their first Christmas without her. So they decide to save money. They're going to just skip Christmas, and they're not going to partake in any Christmas stuff. And they're in this neighborhood that like is like super involved and like, you know, all about Christmas or whatever. So they kind of get like blackmailed, and then all of a sudden the daughter's coming home with like her boyfriend that's a fiance or whatever, and they're like, they have to like get Christmas like back.
I can't hear you.
Oh, you can? Okay. Well, I'm telling the no viewers.
What is happening?
What is happening? Do you really need earphones? Can't you just do it over your computer speakers? Ryan is having technical difficulties. Well, anyways, I can. I saw you talk, but I didn't hear anything come out. We got technical difficulties, folks. I can't hear you, Ryan. Ryan has left the building. It shows, Ryan, it shows as yours as being muted right now. I can see if I can unmute you. Oh, you're gone now. So Ryan is gone, and I am here alone. What have you guys been watching? Oh, wait, there's nobody here. Yeah. Tonight we're going to talk about Spotify Wrapped, which I'm a big fan of. I get super excited about Spotify Wrapped literally every year. It's one of my favorite things to look forward to at the end of the year. So I'm pretty excited to see what. I know I already saw some of Ryan's. I shouldn't say I saw all of Ryan's. I can show you some more stuff. I got a lot of cool shit this week. I got this fucking super awesome empath figure made by the very talented Face Customs. This was my Secret Santa figure. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me or no?
I can't hear you.
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
You can hear me, but I can't hear you. So this is going to be really hard to have a conversation with. I don't know what's happened. Like, I wish I could tell you how to fix this, but I don't know how to fix this. It doesn't make any sense to me.
That's not good.
Technology. I love you. So fun. So fun. Yeah. Do you know Braille? Can we do this or sign language? Yes. Well, this is going to be a one-sided conversation. You can hear Matt probably. You can hear me probably, but I can't hear him. So that's fun.
I'm going to go.
The only other solution I got here, which is going to definitely cause a delay. All right. Matt's leaving now. Try Matt leaving, and then Matt coming back maybe. See if that fixes it. What a good show. See, this is why you don't take 2 weeks off, everybody, is because you get rusty and you don't know what the fuck you're doing anymore. But, yeah. I can't hear anything.
Can you hear me now?
No.
Heard.
Yeah. Let's see. What do I got here? It's definitely on my end. Matt's gonna write me notes now. Well, hold on. Let's see if we can fix this.
Hello, it's me again. You're stuck with me. And yeah, this is about the level of professionalism you can expect from us week in, week out. We're very professional. And we always have our shit together. And yeah. So back to Secret Santa. I got this sweet ass M-Plate, who's one of the Generation X villains. Look at that cool metallic purple. Man, it's so nice. He did such a good job. This was done by Face Customs, and then I also got his little partner in crime, DOA, who's also fully articulated. Very, very cool. So that was the highlight of my week, was getting that. That's a beautiful piece for my collection. Very nice. And as I showed earlier, I got this Tyrannosaurus Rex for $15. I was like, fuck yeah. It's a sweet savings, like 80% off. It's really cool. It has the...
There we go.
You good?
I'm on my phone.
Oh, that'll work.
I don't know what's happened to my computer, but I'm sure the audio quality is worse because I'm not using my mic, but...
Well, you know, that happens.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it broke, but it broke.
Well, at least you're here now, and that's all that matters.
Sorry, everybody. I know this is a podcast where you used to.
Oh, don't worry. I was already telling them about our good quality.
You're used to professionalism to the highest caliber, and we let you down. I don't know what
I would say. We played our average. I would say like maybe a little bit, not that much.
Technology. It's great. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But great.
You do that.
What were we talking about? You were watching Christmas with the Kranks, and then I disappeared.
I was watching Christmas with the Kranks, and I enjoyed it. And then what else did I watch? I also watched Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Nice.
Which was very fun. Fucking love it. And I also watched. What else did I watch? Oh, maybe I said this last time, but if not, I watched Harold and Kumar's 3D Christmas.
Oh, nice. I don't know if you did or not, but I like that movie. That movie's funny as fuck.
Fucking good. So good. There's so many funny parts in it. I like that part where she's like, I had a dream. That guy's like, I had a dream about you were working in the White House. And he's like, who'd fucking believe that?
I've been watching like old shit. Like I've been in such a weird mood that like nothing is I'm enjoying nothing in life right now. Like I'm just in a completely like depressed fucking ball of anxiety mode. So nothing is like hitting me in a way where I'm like, ooh, I'm excited to watch this, or I'm having fun. Like, so I went back and I started watching Flight of the Conchords season 1.
Nice. I would love to do that.
It was really good. It's on Crave, but I have it, so I've just been watching it.
I'm trying to get used to watching my DVDs again because I now have a DVD player that works. So
yeah. I mean, all my video game consoles can play DVDs and Blu-rays and everything. So, but yeah. So Flight of the Conchords season 1, I've been watching. For anybody that doesn't know, it's like a New Zealand comedy folk band that like. It's like a very dry comedy, kind of in the style of What We Do in the Shadows. It's funny as fuck. I love it. It's great. Highly recommended. It's only 2 seasons. They quit after second season, or they got canceled, one or the other. But
season 2 is pretty funny too.
Yeah. Season 1's great, but I haven't got to season 2 yet. I just finished season 1. I'm also watching the Ricky Gervais Show, which is the animated kind of comedy interpretation of their podcast that they did in like 2005, 2006 or whatever. It's really, really funny. It's Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Carl Pilkington, who the whole podcast just revolves around Carl being the weirdest person alive. And then Idiot Abroad, which is their travel show that they did, Ricky Gervais and Carl Pilkington, where they send Carl to like different places in the world. It's not animated. It's actual like a travel documentary basically, but The first season is him experiencing like the what do you call it? Seven Wonders of the World, and how basically none of them he finds remotely like impressive at all, and it's just hilarious because yeah, his way of looking at things is very similar to the way I look at things of like, why is this a wonder? Like, it's impressive to look at, but like, why is everybody flocking to this thing? And he just makes me laugh. I don't know. He's hilarious. So it's very dry comedy, but for some reason, that's just kind of what I've been in the mood for. And I've been listening to a shit ton of music, like an insane amount of music.
I've been listening to a lot of music too.
It's just that time of year where like the weather outside sucks and my fucking seasonal depression kicks in, and like, I don't know, it's dark all the time. We get like 8 hours of sunlight here. So it's like, I just been in the mood. I've been listening to a ton of Coheed and Cambria, ton of Metric, ton of Silver Sun pickups. Like, I've been all over the place, but yeah.
I've been going old school with mine. I went for dinner with a friend on Monday. We started talking about like old punk bands that like got us into the genre or whatever, right? And
right.
Like afterwards, I'd forgotten about so many of those bands. So afterwards I went back and I listened to like fucking like Less Than Jake, a bunch of Less Than Jake. I was started with Less Than Jake, and then I moved over to Bigwig, and then I moved over to No Use for a Name, and I was like,
nice.
Yeah, it was fucking sweet. And then I was like, you know what? I want to listen to like old Blink. So I listened to fucking Buddha, and then I listened to Dude Ranch, and I was like, oh man, I just love like, just so in the mood for like punk rock music right now.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, no, I
like rap gets me excited like to listen to music again too. So
I think that was part of it, is like getting our Spotify Wrapped made me like really in a music mode. But just even before that, like I've just been making what do you call it? Not set lists. Yeah, just of like every single song by artist. So like I got every single song, every album by Coheed in like a list of just like in order of release.
I'm being able to do that like on my iPod. Like I would go to, like, actually one of me and Kate's favorite mixes was Fireworks, when they had only the first 3 albums out, because the way it would list the songs alphabetically. Like we liked like that order, right? It was like the perfect order for like how we liked it. So
yeah, so I just like listened to every single album of Coheed, and then I did the same thing with like Fall Out Boy. I just put all their albums in order, and then I just listened to every single album, and then Taking Back Sunday and Metric, and like I've just been going through like that basically. So I'm very much an album oriented person, and like I don't really like mixed like out of order songs and like fucking shuffles and all that kind of shit. So yeah, well, I mean, we'll get into our Spotify Wrapped thing, but like my like whatever profile or whatever was like, you like to listen to the entire album all at once. Like that was I was called the hypnotist or whatever at the end, because
you have a problem. You listened to this song 300 times this year.
Yeah, you do have a problem. I mean, we need to get into that. You have like the weirdest obsession with things. I don't understand how you do it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's funny because right now, because I've been listening to music and stuff so much more, because I've been spending so much time in the studio.
Yeah.
I decided I was going to restart Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend from the beginning. So I went to the very first episode, and I'm already like almost up to season 3.
You need help. There's so many podcasts out there. Like, I don't understand how you can listen to the same podcast over and over again.
Because it's funny. They're funny. It's like I have favorite episodes that like I could listen to over and over again.
I just don't work like that for podcasts. Like, it's like reading the same book for every day. I don't
It's like watching the same stand-up. It's not exactly the same, but it's
but like I don't do that. Like, usually once I watch a stand-up, I'm done with it.
Oh, see, I'm not that person. I rewatch. That's just the way I am. It's not even just exclusive to music. It's movies. Like when I get a new movie on like DVD or something, when I buy a Blu-ray, like I'll literally watch it like 4 times in the first week I have it. Just like I'll like sit down and watch it once, so there's no distractions, and then I'll like watch it while I'm doing shit like for another 3 or 4 times. I
can't do that. Like my mind
back on the shelf, and then I don't touch it for like a year.
Yeah, my mind just doesn't work like that. I just like, even with video games lately, like I found that like a lot of video games, you need to replay the game to get all the trophies, and like so it'll be like, oh, play it again on hard, play it again on super hard, play it again in this way, like whatever, speed run it, and I'm like, my brain doesn't work that way. I play it once and then it's on the shelf, and like 5 years later I might come back to it, but like
Yeah.
it's not I can't replay the same thing over and over again. And like music I'm different for some reason, but like even movies, like usually I watch a movie once and then it like I'll be in the mood for it 2-3 years from now and I'll be like, oh, I haven't seen that in a while, I'll watch it again. But like I can't just sit there and watch the same movie 4 or 5 times in a row. I just can't do it.
Yeah, see, I'm the opposite. I love things repetitively. Love it.
I just get annoyed. Like it just, I don't know, it's too repetitive for me. But I'm like, I think that's my problem with music, is like, that's why I listen to, 600 and something different artists this year. Is like, I'm just all over the map. Once I listen to something, I'm like,
artists too. I guess the difference is though, is like when I listen to an artist, it's like a song or two. When you listen to it, it's like an album.
yeah, 100%.
The difference too, right? Like I'm not like I listen to albums, but it's like usually it's driven because I'm listening to a playlist and something comes on. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't mind listening to that. Then I go and listen to it. But generally the way I work is I have one playlist that I put like all the things that I am grooving to at the time, and they just stay in that list. And then like now the playlist is like 900 songs deep, and it's just like basically an order from like when I got Spotify to now, and you can see like what I was grooving to during those times, because it's like that's what's on those playlists, and it's like
like I'm definitely more. I mean, definitely this year, like for sure with my Spotify rap list, like I very much, it was just new albums that came out this year. Like it was very much driven by this band put an album out earlier than this band, and that's why they're my number one band, because like like Fall Out Boy was my number one band, and I completely forgot that album came out this year. I thought it came out last year, and when I was looking at it, I was like, wow, like I'm really surprised by that. And then I looked at it and I was like, oh, it came out in March. Okay, that makes sense. That I just had more time with it, because I thought for sure Metric was going to be my number one band, but their album came out in October, so I just had less time with it. And yeah, it was very much driven by like my top 5 bands were all bands that put out albums this year. That's why they're my top 5 bands. And like next year it'll probably be 5 different bands if 5 different bands put out albums. Like it's just
that's how you do it. You work.
That's how I do it. Yeah. And yeah, like I know you're very, very different from me. So
so different from me. That's where it's just like my favorite bands were. I mean, my favorite band and all my top songs were all Blink songs. So it's all stuff from October. So it's like basically it's like 2 months old, and it's the top everything. It's not even just the top band. It's all top 5 songs.
Yeah, I was shocked by that. I don't. Yeah, I mean, Blink wouldn't even make my top 10 albums of the year. So.
I mean, we're different in that sense too, right? Like I'm fucking head over heels over it still, right? So,
I think I've listened to it 3 times.
I've slowed down on it now. Like I listened to it 3 times, like yesterday. Like,
yeah, I didn't make my top 10 albums of the year, so. But
I mean, I even 10 new albums this year, so. But
yeah, well, I know, like your top list. Well, I mean, I have mine written down, and we can go over now. But like, I know yours is going to be probably 2 albums or 3 albums. Like it could be very little.
But yeah, I would. I mean, it'd be easy enough for me to look, because honestly, like I haven't really gotten into anything.
Yeah.
Well, I have my hang on a sec. I have my
wrapped
entire screen, my wrap, on. Oops, that's not what I wanted.
It could be. I'm not sure. I can't see it, so.
Oh yeah, I guess you can.
It's very zoomed. Like, I mean, I can see it on my phone, but it's so small that there's no way I could actually.
Yeah.
But
where the fuck did I go?
I didn't add my Spotify list to the computer. I just wrote it down. So as Matt's talking about his, I can bring up my stats. I wrote it all down, but even if I did, it'd be on my computer right now, and my computer's died apparently. So. So yeah, this is Matt's 2023 wrapped.
Well, I was just gonna go. We could just kind of go through it one slide at a time if you want.
Yeah. Talk about each slide, and I'll talk about mine, and then we.
Slide. I'll talk about my slide.
Yeah.
We're sliding along.
Exactly.
feast for your ears. I listen to 52 genres.
I listen to 30, so that's where we're different.
Yeah, but that's not a surprise to me.
No, you listen to like R&B and like rap and like all kinds of shit where I would.
Mine is ridiculous. It's
show tunes. Like that's the one that shocked me the most. What show tunes are you listening to?
It could be Book of Mormon. It could be.
Okay.
What else could it be?
Like that, I was like, I blew me away. I was like, Matt's listening to show tunes?
There is probably stuff, but yeah. I like anything. I just like shit that's catchy.
Yeah, well, I know that. I'm the same way. Like if it doesn't hook me, then I'm out. But like I can listen to something like a band that or a musician that you'd be shocked that I listen to is like somebody told me to listen to one of Eminem's albums. And there's like
that bad because there's some good Eminem songs and stuff out there,
but like I'm not a rap fan. I'm not an Eminem fan.
Eminem is like there's some Eminem that's like white people rap.
Totally.
It's like butter chicken. It's like white people Indian food. Like it's
yeah. I mean, there's like I don't know, like a handful of songs on the album that are like, oh, this is very catchy. Like I could totally listen to this. It has hooks that I'm like, okay, this could hook me. But for the most part, like there's like entire genres of music where I just be like, this does nothing for me. I can't do this.
Yeah. There's probably some Hairspray in show tunes, and there's also probably some Grease in show tunes as well, I would say.
Yeah, so I mean, what's your top one? Pop punk?
Pop punk, yeah.
Yeah, so my top one is rock.
Yeah, so mine goes pop punk, rock, show tunes, skate punk, and pop, because I also got back into some boy bands this year too. So
mine was rock, indie rock, pop punk, alternative metal, modern alternative rock. So pretty much all rock subgenres.
Yeah, that's really surprised me. Yours, I figured you'd land in that area.
Pretty much everything I listen to is rock and indie rock and pop punk. So
yeah,
a little bit of metal sprinkled in, but I mean it's not.
This is an interesting statistic. That screen that shows the map and it says where you're similar to people that like have similar music tastes.
Mine was Victoria, Canada, BC.
Oh really? Oh, interesting. I guess I could see that actually. Mine was Pittsburgh.
I guess you should be moving.
People there are far more likely to be fans of Blink, Motion City Soundtrack, and The Starting Line.
Yeah, mine was Silver Sun Pickups, Hannah Georges, Mother, and something else was like the most popular bands in Victoria, which makes sense because I think Mother's from Victoria, and I think Hannah Georges is also from Victoria. So
there you go. That makes sense.
Yeah, but.
So for me, I played 2,075 songs in 2023.
Yeah, I played 5,682.
Damn. But yeah, again, you're listening to whole albums too. I'm picking a couple songs and sticking to those ones, right? So
yeah, that's our huge difference.
Yes, it is.
Like that doesn't surprise me. I mean, that's by far the best song on the album.
Yeah, I love Dance With Me. It's so good.
That's the best
so
song.
My top song was Dance With Me by Blink. I played it 274 times starting on October 5th.
Like, that's stupid.
And it still sounds perfect.
Stupid. That's a stupid amount. Like, mine is Love From the Other Side by Fall Out Boy from their new album. And I listened to it 41 times. So, like, that came out in February, and that was my, like, or March. Like, that's what I'm saying is, like, we're so different in that regards.
But the thing is when new Blink came out, I literally listened to nothing but Blink for 4 weeks. Like,
see, I can't do that. Like,
just started kind of leaning off of it the last couple of weeks.
I'll like throw an album on, and then like I switch to another album, then I'll switch to another album, then I'll switch to another album. Like, and then the next night I might go back to that album that I listened to the night before. But like, it's very much like once a night kind of thing, or once a day kind of thing, or once every couple day kind of thing. Like, it's not repeat. Like, I can't do it.
Like, you know, I drive an hour each way to work, and it's like, you know, for basically three or 4 weeks, all I listen to is Blink every day in all the way home.
That would drive me insane.
Insane. So
yeah.
Top songs for me, all Blink. So Dance With Me, Fell in Love, Edging, One More Time, and More Than You Know.
Yeah, I mean, my top 5 songs again is just because these albums came out earlier in the earliest in the year. But
Fall Out Boy.
No, it was Love from the Other Side by Fall Out Boy, Running Out of Time by Paramore, Hold Me Like a Grudge by Fall Out Boy, The News by Paramore, and So Much for Stardust by Fall Out Boy. But like, it's just because those albums came out. I think both came out in March. So if like I said, if Metric would have came out in fucking April or something like that, it would have been very different. But it's just the timing of the albums. They're probably like, I bet you like 39, 38, 30, like in plays time, like it's probably just like one play more, two plays more than the next couple songs. Like it's probably very, very close. But
yeah, see, I'm the opposite. It's like I all of these make sense to me. Like Edging makes sense because I listened to it all through the year in anticipation of the new album, and then as we were getting closer, I was wanting more and more. So I was like listening to Edging a lot more, and then when
those were all the singles.
Yeah, when One More Time and More Than You Know came out, even though I wasn't in love with them, I was still playing them a lot because I was excited for the album. And then when Dancing came out, I was like really into it. And then when Fell in Love came out, I was really into it. So none of those are like surprises to me, really.
Yeah, no, I mean, I expected it. And you were saying for the last couple of weeks that like you were listening to All Blank because you wanted those to be your top songs or whatever. And like I said, it's just not the way I take in music. I can't do it.
Yeah, that's fair. Keep strong.
Yeah, no, totally. I'm surprised that yours is that low this year.
It's because there's so much more podcasts. That's why.
Yeah. Is it because last year weren't you over 100,000?
I don't think so, but I don't know. Maybe I can't remember.
So you're for people that are just listening to the podcast. He's at 85,300 or 103 minutes.
Yeah.
I was at 73,277 minutes for the year, which is like 10,000 more than I listened to last year.
Damn.
Yeah, like a lot. Like
it's
which is 50 days nonstop according to Spotify. So
I think mine was 62.
Yeah.
I peaked on November 12th at 654 minutes, and I was in the top 2% of listeners worldwide. Nice.
See, this is where I don't know if that's for the day you were in the top 2% or if that's for all the minutes. Like you were, because mine was October 12th, which is kind of a weird similarity there, but mine was 566 minutes that day, and it also says I'm in the top 2%. So I'm like, don't know how you're measuring this, but
I just like seeing top 2%. Makes me feel special.
Yeah, well, for the next slide. For the next slide for Fall Out Boy, which I assume yours is going to be very similar. I can't see it, but
it says, "Say hello to your top artist, Blink-182. You're a 0.01% fan, and you spent 9,299 minutes."
Yeah, that's disgusting. For me, it was Fall Out Boy, 2,444 minutes, and I was in the top 0.5%, which like to me is like, I was like, holy shit, I'm in the top percentile of like for people that listen to this band. You're in basically the number one Blink fan. Like you should be getting a medal from Tom that says like thank you. Like
I'd rather it say like eat my dick or something like
well that too, but like it's just they should be coming to your house and like celebrating with you, because like there's I would be shocked if there's anybody that listens to Blink more than you.
Nah, I'm sure there's other people, but they're probably like 16-year-old girls.
Oh, God willing.
So then they did the peak listening months for your artist. So my number one artist was Blink, and peak listening month was October. My second.
Yeah, I didn't write these down because it's the month the album came out is the peak month for me.
Bleachers is weird. I think it's because Modern Girl came out in September, and then I went down this like huge rabbit hole and listened to Bleachers for like 2 weeks straight.
Nice.
Guessing that's probably why Bleachers was there.
Their new album comes out next year sometime, right? March.
I don't like the new song. Did you hear that new one?
No, I don't think I did.
I don't dislike it. I just don't love it. I love Modern Girl. I love the first single. It's fucking so catchy.
So we got Alkaline Trio in January and then Bleachers in March, which is dope.
Yeah. Goldfinger was for 3. I don't know why August was Goldfinger, but I guess it was.
Just summer.
Yeah, I guess they're pretty summery music. So, and Motion City was May, which again, I'm not sure what prompted that. I know there was a point when I kind of did like a let's listen to all the albums, and then
They're working on a new album too,
I saw that,
which
That's
is awesome.
I'll give it a shot. And
Yeah, I mean,
because I was like, why Alkaline Trio in January? I'm trying to think of what January was that had me listening to Alkaline Trio so much. But
didn't you go see them?
No, I haven't seen Alkaline Trio before. I'll be going in March for the first time.
Oh, you're going? Okay. I don't know. I can't think of anything, but maybe that's when they announced he wasn't in the. No, that would have been last year. I don't know.
Me either. But
mine was all like relative to the months the albums came out. So like Fall Out Boy was March, I think. Taking Back Sunday was October. Metric, I think, was September, something like that. Queens of the Stone Age was like April. Like it was all based on what month the album came out. But yeah, very no surprises really.
That's fair.
Excuse me.
Top artists, so same thing. Blink, Bleachers, Goldfinger, Motion City, Alkaline Trio.
Yeah, mine was Fall Out Boy, Taking Back Sunday, Metric, Queens of the Stone Age, and Paramore.
Nice. And then my top podcast.
It's so fucking stupid.
Surprises to me. None of them are.
No.
So my number one podcast is Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. I fucking love it. I'm obsessed with it. Like I'm at this point now where it's like Conan's one of the last few people who are on my list that like I really, really, really want to see. Like I would love to see Conan live.
When is his? I don't know if he's talked about it on the pod or anything, but like, isn't he supposed to have that HBO show?
Yeah, he's kind of being tight-lipped about it to a certain degree, but yeah, basically he does. So aside from doing Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend that comes out Sundays, he does Conan O'Brien Needs a Fan, which he does every Wednesday night, where he talks to a fan somewhere in the world, and they do like a 20-minute conversation.
Yeah.
And apparently the new HBO show is basically built off that. So he just randomly shows up at these people's houses and says, "Oh, remember how you said if we ever meet, we were going to do this or this? Yeah, well, I'm here now, so we're going to go and do this and this." So apparently, like a bunch of everybody that's on the HBO show is has been on the Conan O'Brien Needs a Fan, which for me is great because I've listened to some of those so many times, right? So it's like,
right,
one of those. It's like there's some of them, not all of them, but some of them like carry kind of more weight, right? So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out, but.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's been talking about it for like years. Like, I feel like it just keeps getting pushed, and I'm like, where the fuck is his show?
It's a travel show, so the COVID kind of slowed it down, and then the writer's strike has slowed it down. So I think it'll come out next year sometime. So.
Yeah, my top podcasts were no surprises here. Last Podcast on the Left was my number one. Bill Simmons' podcast was number 2. The Ringer NFL show was number 3. The Mina Kimes show was number 4, and Another Football show was number 5. Like it was all football and true crime related. So
nice.
No surprises.
Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend is 1. I have Weekly Planet as 2, which is also not surprising. Smartless, which is 3. The only reason Smartless is probably so low is because I've listened to it more on Amazon Music than I do Spotify because they get it all a week early, so I get new episodes earlier.
Yeah.
But I still do end up listening to Smartless on repeat usually on Spotify, so I guess it still gets it. Figure Booth is 2 of my friends that do like a figure podcast that are awesome. They'd be higher up too if they did more regular shows, but they only do 1 or 2 a month. So
right.
And then Always Sunny was an every week thing, but they stopped. So
I don't know if they're coming. Like I haven't heard or seen anything. Like I feel like I thought for sure once the writer's strike was over, they'd be right back at it, and I haven't seen anything.
It's still a commitment, right? That's a thing.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm pretty sure both Charlie and Glenn are filming movies right now. So I assume that's probably part of the reason, but I assumed that during the break they probably had pre-recorded a bunch of shit just to have it ready. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just said no, we're not working at all. I don't know, but yeah, I hope it comes back at some point. But
I like it. Conan's my number 1 podcast. I listened for 20,194 minutes, and I am a top 0.5% fan.
So, just in contrast, in total for all podcasts, I listened to 22,145 minutes for the entire year. That's all podcasts in one number. He listened to Conan just as much in just Conan. It's disgusting. I listened to 5,653 minutes of Last Podcast on the Left, which is basically I listened to every episode once that they put out this year. Like,
ridiculous.
So yeah, it's absurd.
But it's fun.
And yeah, the last thing I think is like your classification or whatever. You got the time traveler. I got the hypnotist.
Time traveler. Have we met before? You travel back in time and listen to songs on repeat again and again. The best tracks never get old. Damn straight, Spotify. Damn straight.
Yeah, mine was the hypnotist. You basically listen to. You have such good concentration. You listen to the entire albums all the way through every time, or something like that. So,
and like big dicks in your face.
Yeah, like a hypnotist does.
So you like swing.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I hypnotize. So that's our Spotify Wrapped. I mean, there's not really any surprises in there, really. I expected Blink would be your number one band, and I expected Conan would be your number one podcast. And
to be honest, the top artist is surprising because for the last couple of years, I've noticed that my top artists have not been like what they would traditionally have been. Like, you know, there was a couple of years where there was like Burnham was in there. There was kind of some more random one-off things that were in there that like wouldn't traditionally be on my top, you know, most listened to. So it's funny this year to see me kind of go back to revert back to my early 2000s. So.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, if I was a betting man before this came out, I definitely would not have thought Fall Out Boy would have been my number one band. Like, I honestly had no idea how it was going to shake out because there was definitely a span of time where Paramore, all I was listening to was Paramore. There was definitely a span of time where all I was listening to Metric. Like, it definitely just came down to Fall Out Boy came out soonest. And like I said, I guarantee that it's all very, very close in numbers. It just, I go through phases with music. And
at that point, it's just like the ones that were ahead by one or two are the ones that got the V, right? Or the
and I'll say this now, like next year, if this Alkaline Trio album is good, Alkaline Trio will be probably my number one band next year just because it comes out in January, and it wouldn't shock me, like just like the Bleachers album, if it's good, it will be my number 2 or number 3 just because it's coming out in March. I used to, like, back in the day when we always did like our top 10 lists on Facebook and stuff like that, I always was like, oh, I'm very excited for this album that comes out next year. And I feel like it's really hard to do that now because I feel like bands don't talk as much about like, oh, like we're working on something, here it comes. And like, it's really hard to do now because I never know. I'm like, ooh, this band could definitely be due for an album now because they haven't put out anything in 3 years. But there's so many bands that go like 7 years without putting out an album, or like 10 years without putting out like, it's like, it seems like it's not like a 3-year album cycle anymore. It's like, well, it comes out when it comes out. And so I really don't know what to look forward to next year. Like, obviously the albums we talked about, and if Motion City has something ready for next year, but like off the top of my head, I'm like, there's not a band where I'm like, ooh, they're definitely due for an album next year and I can't fucking wait for it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, where did my screen disappeared. I'm just trying to find it again here.
I wrote down my top albums of the year. I didn't ask you to do this. I knew you wouldn't have a very long list, but so I wrote it down and I didn't really think about it too hard. It was just like a quick. So they're not really in order. They're kind of in order, but like I didn't think about it hard and long enough that like I really like cracked down on it. But these would be my top 10 albums of the year. Metric, Formentera 2 would be my number 1. Fall Out Boy, So Much for the Stardust. Number 2, Paramore, This Is Why.
For some reason, my screen disappeared, so I might get kicked out here. If I get kicked out, I'll come right back in.
All right, sounds good. I can still see you, so I don't know.
Yeah. It's not that the camera stopped working. It's that it was when I left full screen. For some reason, it's not letting. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Okay, I'll be right back. I have to get out. We're having a great day. I'll be right back.
We're having all kinds of technical problems. It's beautiful.
Hold this. Okay, you can still hear me, right?
Yeah, you're still here. I can still see you. I can still hear you.
Okay.
Oh, can't see you anymore. Matt will be back. We're having technical issues. I apologize. This is what happens when you don't record every week. And I moved everything inside because it's just too cold to sit outside right now. I mean, it's not that cold right now, but Earlier this week it was like -10 here. It was just not nice. Anyway, top albums of the year: Metric, Formentera 2, Fall Out Boy, So Much for the Stardust, Matt's Back. Number 3, Paramore, This Is Why. Number 4, The Beaches, Blame My Ex. Number 5, Taking Back Sunday, 152. Number 6, Queens of the Stone Age and Times New Roman. Number 7, Hannah Georgish, I'd Be Lying If I Said I Didn't Care. Number 8, K-Flay, Mono. And number 9, Depeche Mode, Memento Mori. And number 10, City and Color, The Love Still Held Me Near. Those are my top 10 albums.
Mine's Blink-182, One More Time, and that's all.
I kind of figured as much. So yeah, if there's any, I'll post this all. We're gonna post our Spotify Wrap on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm posting mine tomorrow. So
yeah, so people can take a look at it, and I'll post my top 10 albums for anybody that's interested in maybe finding some new music. I'll put that up and with the album covers and everything, so you can find that on Spotify or whatever you listen to your music on.
Yeah, that. But I am posting my Spotify.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the one audience member.
Yeah. Yeah, I would recommend too, if like you have the income or whatever, like some of these bands are touring right now, go support them, go buy their albums on vinyl or CD or whatever you listen to. Like definitely help, musicians keep touring and stuff, because definitely the touring is not as good as it used to be. I don't know. I bought a couple concert tickets just because I've been really craving music, but it's all next year. So, The Beaches is playing in Toronto during Fan Expo next year.
Cool.
I didn't know if anybody, like, I didn't know if you're flying down. I assume you're not coming next year, but yeah, I was like, you know what? Even if nobody wants to go to Fan Expo next year, I might just go on my own. And this is playing the first night of Fan Expo, so.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so it'd be cool to go. And then Godsmack is playing at the Casino in Windsor. I was a huge Godsmack kid during like high school. I love those first 2-3 albums. But yeah, it's a band that like I just going because they're playing in Windsor. If I had to go far for it, I definitely wouldn't pay money for it. But the fact that it's just like close to home, I'm like, you know what? And they're playing an acoustic set, which is cool.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, it's different. It's not like, I haven't been into Godsmack in fucking, I don't know, 20 years, but just the fact that it's like a metal band or a hard rock band playing an acoustic set, I'm like, I'm into that. Something different.
That should be interesting.
So yeah, but I'm on the lookout for concerts. Like I'm like, fuck, I just want to go to, like, I'm in music mode, like hardcore right now.
I can't wait to go to Alkaline Trio and fucking jazz.
Yeah. Like if I could like get a future job of like booking shit for the Casino, like I'd be so happy. Of just like, I'm gonna get so many fucking bands to play in Windsor, because I just wish Windsor had a bigger music scene than it does. And I know I could cross the border and go to Detroit, but it's just such a fucking hassle.
Is it though?
It is. I hate crossing the border. They always.
You're there.
The tunnel bus is so expensive now.
Well,
it's
so
like
is everything. So
yeah, it's like $10 a crossing. It's something stupid now, but
it's still not bad. I mean,
it's not.
Like if you were gonna drive across, it would cost you $10.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. I hate going across. I don't feel safe in Detroit. I don't like.
I totally understand that. I totally.
It's so much better than it was when we like used to go to like St. Andrews and everything like that. Like
it's better, really?
Oh yeah, like the downtown's cleaned up so much because of all the like money they've put into it. But
it would still be not great, still. But
I'm sure there's still like mass homelessness and old homeless men trying to sell you like American flags for dollars. And I mean that's just the way it always has been. But yeah, always.
It's just what I was missing in my life.
I'm a Canadian. I don't want your American flag. Sorry. But yeah, no, everything hits Detroit. Nothing hits my city. When that's what happens when you're a border city, and Detroit's
and you live in
10 times. Well, and 10 times the size of Windsor. So
why would you go to it? Yeah.
No, I agree, but like I don't know. If I was a Canadian band, I would much rather play in Windsor than in Detroit.
You're going to fucking Detroit, and it's like, oh yeah, why didn't you come to Flint?
Yeah,
Fucking, it's Detroit. That's where you go.
I agree with you. I'm not saying you're wrong. I wish it was different. You know.
We even get that with Seattle a lot of times. There's a lot of bands who don't come to Vancouver, but they go to Seattle. But it's like, man, that's a big difference. That's not like just down the block. That's like Toronto.
Yeah,
Not
totally.
but it's.
And like I think a lot of bands just don't want to cross into Canada. It's just a hassle to cross the border. And
I'm so glad Alkaline Trio's coming. Oh my god, I'm so glad. Hey, did you hear the new Alkaline Trio song too? By the way, I meant to ask.
There's just the one. If there's a second one, I haven't heard it.
There's a new one. Yeah, came out like a couple days ago.
I haven't heard it yet. No.
Oh yeah, it's pretty okay.
I'll check it out. I'm excited for that album.
It is good, but I think the first one's better.
So yeah, next week will be our final episode of the year. We're gonna, I don't know, talk about, I guess, some of our favorite shit of the year, and maybe, I don't know, just go kind of chit chat and maybe favorite favorite music, or favorite movies, favorite shows. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go, and then we're gonna take a couple weeks off and come back in January, and I guess we'll have Echo to start diving into, and
oh yeah, when's that?
I don't know.
I like how I'm worried about it because it's like
we also have Zombies or whatever the fucking show is. What If season 2, whatever the fuck it is.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about What If.
That comes out during Christmas, so we'll cover that in January.
It's funny because I saw on Instagram there was like a first look teaser to like Agatha. Did you see that?
I didn't watch it, but I saw that it was.
I was like, I like how there's new MCU stuff that comes out. And it's a trailer, and I'm like, yeah, don't care. I'm not even gonna watch that.
That's exactly what I said out loud. I was like, well, I don't care about that at all. I'm not even gonna bother. I keep seeing this like rumor, and I mean, I not that we were planning on getting into MCU stuff, but that
we always find our way there.
That Daphne Keane is cast as X-23 in Deadpool 3. And I'm like, I don't know how that's possible, really, because it's before Logan. But it
have to make sense. It's a multiverse. There's infinite versions of her. So
I would fucking love if that's true.
That'd be cool.
I would love if she's the only Fox character that carries on into the MCU.
That would be also cool.
Oh, and Deadpool, but like, that would be the two I would take. Like everything else, recast, redo whatever you want, but like. I love X-23 in that fucking movie, and I'm like, fuck, I just want more of her. Yeah.
She's like a star. She's the standout in that movie.
Absolutely. So yeah, I don't know how it would work, but that got me excited even more for that movie. So.
Fuck yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'd be for sure if that was actually real.
I don't know if it is or not. Who knows anymore? Everything seems to be in fluctuation. So.
Word.
But that's it. Thanks everybody for checking us out. And if you're not already following us, please go over on Instagram, follow at Customs by Matthew, follow at Moose Milk Media. You can go to our YouTube channels. Matt will be back doing stuff on YouTube at some point in the new year.
I did sign up for StreamYards again today because there's a good deal on.
There you go. You can follow both of our YouTube channels, same handles, Moose Milk Media at Customs by Matthew. You can subscribe on your podcast service, and we'd appreciate you if you liked us, followed us, and told a friend and got the show growing bigger. Like I said, next week will be our final episode of the year on Saturday. And we hope you join us. Hope everybody has a great week. And we'll talk to you next week.
Word up.
Bye, Matthew.
Bye. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Bye.
I don't know how to end this on here. Oh, here we go.
I don't know how to do it either.